he took out ads in the newspaper saying that he can help heal people, and he was arrested for that, and he actually beat that case. Can you explain to people what happened during that time?
Yeah, it was the Village Voice in the big red newspaper. And what happened was, the Attorney General at the time was Attorney General Abrams here in New York. Mm-hmm. And he called Sebi. He said, look, man, you can't have that ad in the paper. He said, that's not true. Sebi said, what do you mean? He said, why I have to take it out of the paper? He said, because it's not true. He said, well, tell me why it's not true. He said, because you can't do that. He said, that's not good enough. I'm going to phone up on it. Mm-hmm. So I must have been 3-4 months.
And that was claiming that he can cure
AIDS.
HIV/AIDS.
And that it was big then.
Big back then, I remember, yeah.
Herpes, cancer, diabetes, sickle cell. Basically, he was saying we can reverse any disease, and that still remains today. Because there's no disease that's irreversible. When you give the body the environment that it needs to nourish itself, our bodies want to heal itself. And it's up to us to decide, hey, we got to change our toolbox. What is our toolbox? The food that we put in our mouth.
Now, that's the conspiracy, is that our food sources
it's killing us,
feeding us
as a nation. And not only that, the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, the pharmaceuticals. So when we look at this and we think about the food that we're eating, that's a conspiracy all in itself, because we've been fooled to think that processed food is our food. It is the silent killer. And we have all been sitting here saying, oh, this is what's good for us. This is what's good. How can you have a righteous thought when your food is unholy?
Damn, family. Damn.
Let's go back. I want to
talk about the court case some more.
Now, the government brought charges on him.
For what they said, selling medicine without a license. Practicing medicine without a license. So in that courtroom was the AMA. He's the first naturopath to go up against the AMA. Went all the way to the Supreme Court, and he beat the case. Try to get a copy of the case now. They have it sealed.
I read some of it. They said that they told him to bring in people that he healed. He brought it. They said the courtroom was too full.
15.
Yes.
Yeah.
They asked him to bring 15. He filled the court up.
And that's not pharmaceuticals if you're telling people to eat natural fruits and vegetables.
It's food.
Yeah, it's food. It's not even like you're trying to get people to buy drugs.
Life is food, and that's the thing that I really have. I've been listening to a lot of music because there's a lot of youngsters be around me. So I listen to the rap. And I be listening to it and they just jamming to it. And then I hear them say, yeah, I got to get my Hennessy and Coke, my Percocets. I'm saying, wait. See, these are the things that keep us trapped in that toolbox where we keep eating the same thing and thinking the same thought.
So
the court case is what Nipsey wanted to focus on in his documentary, right?
Yeah,
like just that specific time.
Yes. So with the, Nipsey passing and, Nipsey wanted to do the documentary, he wanted to just strictly focus on the court case because our generation need to know the truth. It's so many conspiracies on Dr. Sebi. He wasn't a healer. He was a quack. He didn't cure these people. The fact of the matter is this. He won in the Supreme Court. He beat his case. Not only the Supreme Court justice, he also went the very next day and beat a federal case. So we have to give this man his credit. He's doing something that no one in this world has ever done. Period.
And it's still being done right now. And nothing changed because when you understand what the body needs and what the body is getting, then you eliminate the poison that you intake it and put in all nourishment. It changes the body's environment. That's simple as that.
How did y'all feel when y'all saw everybody saying Nipsey was killed, which is ridiculous, killed because he was making a documentary on Dr. Sebi?
It was very, very heartbreaking, and I was very disgusted behind it because our society always come with an opinion. We always quick to speculate and think the worst instead of knowing the facts. So once, Nipsey died, it was very tragic. And then, all the speculations came out. My phone was ringing, DMs going crazy. And it's like, once they found the shooter, all the speculations went out the window. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask, Dr. Sebi, his last name wasn't Sebi. So how did the name Sebi come about? Because your last name is Sebi either.
No, it's Bowman. His name, I'm Junior. His name's Alfredo Dorrington Bowman. And he came by with that name because at that time he was dealing with a bunch of women around him because his whole thing was that women are healers. the natural healers of the earth is women, and it's true to right now.
He ain't lying.
I mean, it's true to right now. So, they decided to give him that name, Sebi, and later on the doctor got added to it, and what Sebi really means is traveler. He was traveling everywhere, and he was traveling, healing people, finding out about new herbs, just learning what life is all about and how to sustain our life. And he brought that to the community, and that's what we still bring to the community because we represent that.
For all of you growing up, did you grow up vegan? Everybody?
That didn't happen for me until I was 18.
Until you were okay.
I was about 7 when I gave up a cheeseburger. I got real sick, and my grandfather had to fly from Honduras to give me sea moss, and that's when I fell in love with sea moss. And I was in the hospital for a week. I thought I was gonna die behind a Big Mac.
Really?
Really?
What was it like? What was
Food poisoning.
Wow.
Yeah, when the Big Macs was $2, and I grew up in an era where we had the moon, as the McDonald's. They had all this new stuff.
That's when that Big Mac was $3.14.
Exactly, and your mom was giving it to you, and I got real ill, and my grandfather came to save me. I said I'll never eat a burger again, and I haven't. Been plant-based ever since.
Now, besides the sea moss, what else do you take? I remember him having so many different things that he would suggest that we take. What else should the body be taking daily?
Us men, men in particular, we do everything. We'll eat, we'll drink, we'll party, we'll do it all. But we don't take care of ourselves, We love looking fly on the outside, but our insides are sick. So the best thing for men is sea moss, Mel Balance, Warrior Caps, a blood purifier.
Bitters.
Oh, yeah, the bitters. Yeah.
Oh, these are 4 different things you just named?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bitters is a tincture, really. That it came from Honduras. It's 5 different herbs strong bitter herbs that grow in Honduras, and it's Ome Grande. That Ome Grande, in and of itself, when sick AIDS patients would come to the resort in Honduras, they would be looking listless. They would say, hey, go give them a stick. I'll break pieces of the Ome Grande and give it to them. Within hours, they walking around sucking on that stick, and all of a sudden, now they perk it. And when I get up on it, I be like, what was that? This is nasty, but it works. Yeah. And it was snapping them up.
They sell those bitters, right? As a tincture in my neighborhood, too.
Are the ones they sell in America real?
Well, it's not the bitters that come from Honduras, because the bitters that come from Honduras is derived from a group of black people that live there. They call themselves Garifunas. And the bitters itself is called Gifiti in their language. And you go in any hut, because I've been in many of them. And when you walk through the door of the hut, you look to the back, right by the door is always a bottle of bitter sitting there. The kids, everybody who gets sick take it. They use it as a cure-all.
And for women, we don't really look at a lot about looking at our women. These are the ones who feed us. When you sit at a table, it's mostly your mother.
Yeah.
And so you are the sum of your experiences through your mother. And when you look at it like that, I like to talk to the woman part of this conversation, because there are a lot of times when we young women feel defeated. We feel away from ourselves. We live on the outside of ourselves, needing to get to the inner woman of who we are. And so with that being said, those bitters, I have a product called the Inner Woman, but also I have a chlorophyll that's like natural Prozac, because we women go through a lot of changes. And the one change that I find very passionate in my heart is when women tell me how insecure they feel, because that throws off everything and it defies everything about nature, but it is their food that caused them that disruption. And they don't realize that they step away from that chicken, which is a woman's true love. I know it, aside from chocolate cake, and that is the devil. If they step away and allow that natural, organic woman to come through, all that confidence will come back. But they don't realize that defeated feeling that they have comes from their food source.
It's funny you said that about chocolate cake. I remember there was a point in time where they used to call chocolate cake the devil's food cake. That's what it used to be called.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And the white one was angel food cake.
Yeah.
Were you ever upset that no celebrity ever stood up and said anything about it? Because it was rumored that he helped so many different
Magic Johnson. Well, Left Eye did. Left Eye
died. Yeah, Left Eye. Shout out to Left Eye.
Rest in peace.
The only person in hip hop to ever glorify my grandfather. And it's just sad that my grandfather is the pioneer of healing. And we have never been to any award show or never been nominated for a Nobel's Peace Prize or anything. And my grandfather has done so much for celebrities, the community, just.
But he's never said anybody. He said he would never.
Right.
He swore secrecy, but. There was so many celebrities that went to him and got.
And no doctor would reveal who they were.
And still today we have celebrities in that way, but we didn't get into this work to be famous. We got into this work to be helpful. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it like that, hey, I don't care what status you are. We're here to help you. We're here to educate you. So after you're done with us and this experience moves on to where you are now educating, our time is done. So you can talk about it, but we're good because we're still in the work. So we don't have time to slow down and think about that part of it, but we're so grateful to have each client that supports this mission that we're on.
And you also got to remember, too, growing up, in America, the media is controlled by white people. So to put Dr. Sebi out there would mess up their money in a huge way.
Well, yeah, the pharmaceutical companies make billions of dollars. And, of course, they don't want people to not buy medicine because they want to keep you getting sick, so keep you getting there, trying to do preventative things instead of curing things. They want to make sure people stay sick.
And sure, we know. You're talking to a chemist, a nutritionist, and I'm a nurse of 23 years.
Wow.
We definitely know what you're talking about. We've walked that walk.
Yeah.
Right, so this ain't nothing new to us. We came back to the mother, as you can see. We know what they have to teach us, but we came right back.
Do you feel like there's been more of a movement right now with people trying to be more natural, more organic, more vegans? Like I see a lot more restaurants and things that have been happening